Hello, my beautiful mystic hearts, and welcome to today's love reading. Okay, so for those of you who are subscribed to this channel, who do tune in and watch my readings regularly, I do want to thank you for being so patient. It has been some time since you've heard from me, so I really do want to thank you for being patient. And please know that I really do appreciate every single one of you. So thank you. I do have to say, as I was sitting down to do this reading, so actually, let's just get into it because I really was hearing this morning that whoever this divine feminine is, whose collective this is, you're really starting to lose faith in this journey. And so I really just want to do a check in, a divine feminine, divine masculine check in this morning, just to see where you're both at in this journey together and just to see what kind of guiding messages actually come through from your spirit teams this morning. So let's get straight into it. I am quite looking forward to doing this reading. As I said, for those of you who do tune in regularly, it has been some time. So I am very much looking forward to this. So let's get into it. I do hope that you are all very well. All right, so what does this beautiful divine feminine collective need to know? As you'll be aware, I do have the pink cards first up this morning, so definitely the divine feminine. And just a reminder as well that you may be in a masculine or a feminine vessel. It really doesn't matter which vessel you're in. You could either be identifying either with the divine feminine or divine masculine. It doesn't really matter. So it's definitely not a gendered reading. I feel like I always need to say that at the beginning of all my readings. Okay, I've already got cards flying out at me, so let's have a look here. All right, we will take that one, but I do want to firstly split the deck and just to get your overall ruling message here, ruling energy, I should say. All right, that was almost another card flipping over, so let's have a look. Okay, so what have we got? So we've got love, so unconditional love, self-love, oneness, passion, affection, attraction, and then we've got the Grim Reaper. All right, so this is exactly what I was picking up on, so thank you, Spirit. So for my beautiful divine feminine collective who I'm speaking to here, so this connection between you and your divine masculine really has brought about unconditional love, and I'm just getting the sense that we're talking about personal love, like self-love here more than anything. I do think that you do have unconditional love for your masculine. I think that potentially you might go in and out of that, to be honest. I get the sense that you are also feeling very frustrated. So I think that you're going in between frustration and unconditional love. I think you're actually going between the two. But I think definitely you have really developed self love as a result of this connection. I'm also getting the message as well that you have been in separation from this person for quite a long time. Like, this is not a connection that's very recently gone into separation. I do get the sense that it's been quite a while. And hence the fact we've got the Grim Reaper here. So the relationship is over, no second chance, grow, transform your life. Like I said, I don't know if you actually said to this masculine, no second chance, but I think that you go in and out of this. I think that you go in and out of, the relationship is over. You've completely lost faith in the connection. That, potentially if this masculine did come back into, did actually reach out to you again, you might end up saying, actually, there is no second chance here. And I think that's as a result of this self-love that you're developing, that you are really starting to step into your Empress energy. You're really starting to put down very clear boundaries around your life, is what I'm hearing, as a result of this unconditional love that you are developing for yourself. Which brings us then to obviously the grow and transform your life. So that's that Grim Reaper. So really, very much the Death card as well. So very much just cleansing and clearing, very much closing out old karmic cycles. And like I said, I definitely think that you think that potentially that this relationship is done, that it's finished. There's been a lot of time here between communication, and that potentially it's done. I'm also hearing a message too that sometimes you wonder if this is your divine counterpart, or if this was just a karmic connection as well. If this is just forming, just like one of those, karmic cycles that you've had to heal out. So let's have a look. I would probably say to you that if you're watching this reading, if this is resonating with you, then you probably deep down know if this person is your divine masculine or not. But I do understand the frustration. I do definitely understand the frustration. So firstly, we've got engagement ring here. So I just want to get a few more cards just for your top row, just to confirm that this is actually your collective, that this is your energy. Okay. So what have we got to start with? So this card actually came, okay, so there's the love again. So we've got engagement ring and love. So they definitely wanted to come out. We've then got sword with a rose, so truth, clarity, revelation. We've then got the twin flame card, and then we've got butterflies. So, so funny that you would be doubting this connection, but yet spirits just straight away just pulled out the twin flame card, which doesn't actually happen every single one of my every one of my readings. Normally, you have to very much rely on your intuition, but it's a pretty clear here. But anyway, let's get into these cards. So we've got engagement ring. So I definitely think that either you were engaged to this person, or there was discussion here around some really serious commitment between the two of you. I also think that you still want this with this person. I think despite the anxiety that you've got around this connection, despite the doubt that likes to creep in, I think that you still very much envision ultimately a serious commitment with this person, and ultimately that you will be brought back into union again. Which then, is then we've then got, that love card that we've already talked about. So I think as a result of this connection, I'm just getting that real sense you are very much stepping into a very mature energy, and I mean that in the best possible way, not age-wise maturity, but as in emotional maturity. I think that you look back at the time that you first met this person, and I think that you look back at the progress that you've done, and I think that you are really, really surprised with yourself about how far you've actually come. For some reason, I'll get my words out in a second. I've got 100 different images coming through, so I'm trying to download these as seamlessly as I can. But I'm seeing a divine feminine journaling. So I think that you have been journaling a lot lately, and you've really been doing a lot of self-reflection on your journey so far, which is good. I mean, that's what we should be doing. If you are on this journey, you should be taking those momentary, a stock take really of your progress so far. And I think I can just see that image of you doing that. And I think that you really are really starting to step into your inner power, your inner balance. I'm also hearing that inner union as well, that real balance between, so very much that temperance card, that balance between your yin and your yang, your masculine, your feminine, that real inner union is what I'm feeling. But then we've got this sword and the rose. So I think that this is what you hope for, is this truth, this clarity, this revelation to come through. This is very much also the Ace of Swords as well. I always see the Ace of Swords when I see this card. Also, roses might be really important. So you might have, I'm just seeing a rose tattoo of some sort, but you may also, roses could actually be a symbol for you. I feel that roses are quite important to this collective. But I think this is what you've been waiting for. You've been waiting for this truth, this clarity to come through from this masculine. And I think it's been some time since this has happened, and this is actually what's causing your doubt, your fears around this connection is this lack of revelation that's come through. This is really what you're waiting for. But then we've got the twin flame card. So I think that underneath all of it, you do still see this person as your twin flame, as your divine connection. For some reason, I'm just getting the message, and this will really resonate whoever's reading this is. Remember that I'm just hearing this, so I'm going to say it. This might sound a little bit woo-woo, but not to the right collective, is that your twin flame, you are actually the same soul. So you're actually never truly in separation. For those of you that are really familiar with the twin flame journey, that have been really researching it, that really understand about twin flame connections, that will actually really resonate with you. And I feel that you need to hear that again, is what I'm hearing. You're actually never truly in separation from your twin flame. Just because you can't see them in the physical doesn't mean that you guys aren't actually in connection. And I know that might sound a bit woo-woo, but to the right collective, that will make sense. That will be a confirmation for someone. All right, and then we've got the butterfly. So relationship evolving to the next phase, healing inner child growth. This is very much confirming that inner journey that you've been on. You've been doing a lot of shadow work. I'm just hearing, I'm actually seeing spirit team clapping, to be honest. I think that there is a lot of spiritual development and inner child healing and growth that you've really been doing. You've been really focusing on it quite a lot. I think you've gone through a serious phase of introspection. I think that when you first started on this journey, you were very much that little caterpillar. And now I think that as you have been looking back over your journey, which means you've been on this journey for quite a while, this is not a collective that has just met their twin flame. You have been on this journey for quite some time. You've really been focusing a lot on this. I think that you now do see yourself as a butterfly, right? As that you have really gone through that metamorphosis and really stepping into your butterfly energy, I'm hearing, which is actually a beautiful energy. We've also got photographs just on the bottom here as well. So I think that you are having a little bit of nostalgia at the moment. So looking at photos, missing you, nostalgia, making new memories. This could also be an energy that you're picking up on from your masculine as well. I'm also being told to remind you as well that once you do actually hit that phase of true detachment, that does actually ricochet through the cords, through the lines back to your masculine again. So if you really are hitting that stage of, or hitting that point of truly letting go, then this actually might be your masculine's energy that you're picking up on. But let's keep going. I don't actually think that this collective, I don't know if you are truly in that. I don't know. I'm a bit on the fence with it. I think that you go through stages of Six of Cupping. So stages of that real nostalgia, and then you kind of pull yourself back out of it, and you remember who you are and the journey that you've been on, and you're like, no, I don't want to sit in that energy anymore. All right, so then we've got, so underneath engagement ring, we've got Hands of Cards, and then we've got the Golden Mirror. Interesting that these cards will come up. So under engagement ring, we've got, so taking a chance, risk, being strategic options, not showing hand. So I think that this comes down to this message or this commitment that you're really wanting through from your masculine that still hasn't come through yet. And this is also tying into that, that truth, that revelation. I think that this masculine is still very much holding their cards to their chest very, very tightly, which is then, of course, leading to your frustration as well. Also, the Ace of clubs, that might also mean something. You might also have a tattoo. Your masculine might have a tattoo of that. I'm seeing tattoos a lot here, so I feel that tattoos might be quite significant here with this collective. But I'm seeing, yeah, that the ace of definitely the ace of clubs here. But also gambling. Gambling might have also played into this collective as well. That might have actually been part of the shadow work that your masculine has had to go through, and might have actually contributed to your separation as well. I'm hearing. But you're wanting this masculine to take a chance, like you're wanting him to do this, but you're feeling that he's still being strategic. Once again, I'm going to say he, she, masculine, feminine. Like I said, it's just the nature of the connections. There are always going to be a masculine and feminine energy. Is not gendered though. Does not matter which vessel you're actually in. But this is what you're wanting. You're really wanting this masculine to step through. All right, golden mirror. So we've got. So I think that both of you are. So you're mirroring each other with this. So unconditional love, self-love. I think you might actually be quite surprised about the journey that your masculine is on. I'm really getting the sense here that you are really mirroring each other with the self-love journey. The masculine might be just a little bit further behind in the journey than you, is what I'm hearing, which is very typical of these types of connections. I think that I'm also seeing this self-absorbed narcissist one-sided relationship. I think that when your masculine first presented, I think that this is not necessarily a narcissist, but quite narcissistic type behavior. I really don't like that word. I think it's really overused, but you know what I'm talking about. I think that this masculine really was potentially really quite self-absorbed when you guys actually originally came into union for the very first time. But I think that through the unconditional love that you have, or that you know, I think you still have it. I was going to say all that you had, but I think you still have this unconditional love. Despite your frustration, I think you still have this unconditional love for this masculine. But I think you're starting to see through that. I think that you are actually thinking to yourself, you know what? Divine masculine or not, I'm not going to be putting up with this behavior anymore. You know, that real love bombing one-sided relationship. I'm just not going to be putting up with it. And that comes back down to that self-love that you were really stepping into. All right, so revelation. And then we've got the mask. Yeah, so not showing true feelings, deluded. This is, you were really gaslit here about something. There is something in this connection. Oh, look, and then we've got the runner on the bottom. Look at that. So we've got the runner. So there was something here. You presented and you mirrored back to this masculine something that the masculine was not particularly happy that you did. They were wearing a mask with you, and I think that you called this masculine out on some things that you were really gaslit into thinking weren't true. I think you really doubted yourself over this, and it pushed the masculine into this runner energy, which is to be expected. So twin flames and then runner. Oh, wow. Look at that. Runner, chaser. I'm actually being told to take those. You literally can't. You can't make that stuff up. I swear to goodness, that is really magic. So we've got twin flames, runner, and then chaser. Straight one after the other. So you are the chaser. Your masculine's going to be the runner. Yeah. So confirming this dynamic that you are actually locked into. And I think that it has really been quite some time since the two of you have had this. This masculine probably is still in his runner energy, I would imagine. And you can feel it. So you can feel this mask that this masculine is wearing with you. You can still feel it. I'm just getting the sense though that this is what's causing you to be like, nah, I've just had it. I don't want to deal with this anymore. But that is absolutely divine confirmation there, right? Twin flames runner and the chaser. All right, and then butterfly, just for your last card here, and then we'll actually really break it down. All right, so butterfly. All right, then we've got keys on a ring. So many decisions, unconventional, strung along, one night stand. This is really how this masculine made you feel. He made you very much feel like a third party. So we've got one. So I always say those 3 keys. You might have also had an issue with the key, just to tie you to this reading as well. Might have just recently lost a key or something to do. Recently had a key cut, I'm hearing. But it says how this masculine really made you feel was that third party, that there was always another option in front of you, that there were always a lot of other priorities. I shouldn't say necessarily options, although there quite possibly were, but very much always other priorities. Or there was always something else that was more important than you, which of course, it played very much into the separation here. But through this runner chaser dynamic, through this avoidance that this masculine has had with you, this has really pushed you into, doing that inner child healing, moving to that next phase in your relationship with yourself, and really into your butterfly energy here, which is beautiful. That's actually really beautiful. I just think that you are feeling, just maybe a little bit, I don't know if this is really like, was a little bit downtrodden, a little bit like, oh my gosh, like how much longer is this going to be kind of energy, is what I'm feeling. But that's pretty magic. Want to chase the twin flames. Okay, so we definitely know what kind of dynamic we are dealing with here. So I actually want to get straight into tarot, to be honest. I want to see what your spirit team wants you to know about this connection. So I might get the angel cards, I think. I might get angel cards. I want to see, and then just to see, what your spirit team or your angels want you to know about your connection. See what guiding messages come through, and then, we'll just see where this reading goes. All right, let's go. All right, so top row, so we've got 2 of Swords. I'm just going to, it doesn't surprise me we've got the 2 of Swords. You're all about trying to make a choice here. You can't see which way to go at the moment, which confirms exactly what we've been talking about. Is that you're kind of stuck in the mind at the moment around, or you were at least at the time you sat down to have this reading, is that really, is this karmic? Is this, is this twin flame? It's been so long, I can't see the way forward. So it doesn't surprise me that you've got the 2 of Swords there. All right, I just want to split the deck just to get your overall ruling energy. We've got Judgment in the reverse, but then we've got Page of Cups. All right, so this is that Judgment. So we're really just confirming what we've spoken about. So Judgment in reverse. So Judgment is all around that call to action. It's very much around, you stepping into your mission work as well, that Judgment card. But it really is that call into understanding who you are as a person, and really how you're going to be giving back to this world. And I just think for this, because of this connection, I have this feeling that you might be doubting your journey, is what I'm hearing. You might actually be doubting, or you might feel that there has been a blockage in your spiritual path, in your inner union, in your mission work. Maybe you're losing doubt around your mission work, is what I'm hearing. And I think that you very much want to turn this into the upright. is what I'm hearing, but I just think you're just feeling quite stuck at the moment. We've then got the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is really my truth card, or my apology card, I should say, not my truth card, my apology card. The Page of Cups is also quite a very emotionally immature energy as well. So I think that you have been really waiting for an apology to come through from this masculine who you really do see, or really was in a Page of Cups energy when you guys were originally brought into union. So Page of Cups is very impulsive, doesn't really think about, what's going on. It's kind of an airy fairy type of energy, the Page of Cups. So it's definitely a couple of things there. So I think that you are very much waiting for this apology or this revelation really to come through from someone, in Page of Cups, or who was in a Page of Cups energy when you first met them. And it's really, I think you're just really feeling quite blocked with your spiritual path at the moment. Which says to me this is probably a layer that you need to get through. All right, but let's see what else your team wants you to know about this connection. All right, so that doesn't surprise me at all. So we've got the Chariot in reverse. That's your blocking row. We've got the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. We've got the King of Swords here. It's come through on the side. It's a very, very logical card, but I'm going to take that in the upright. And then one last card here. Oh, and then we've got the Eight of Cups, but in reverse. Okay, so very much your top row here. So as we said, so you are really, this is what your team wants you to know. So like I said, we will get into the masculine as well. We will really break the masculine down as well, but just for the time being here. So we've got Two of Swords. Like as we said, so you are really stuck in the mind at the moment. You are really not sure which way to go. Is this something that you need to be moving on from? Was this just a karmic connection? I think we may have already cleared that up. But I'm just getting a very strongly hearing that this is potentially a layer that you need to get through, a little bit of a test that you need to get through around really trusting in the divine, trusting in divine timing, and also a fear of the outcome. I'm hearing that you but I think that this is what you're trying to get around, right? You're really trying to get around this whole fear of lack, fear of the outcome. Actually, just letting control of that go is what I'm hearing. It's very much the point that you're at the moment in this journey. And then, of course, then we've got the Chariot in reverse, right? Which means that there have been blockers. This is something that has been really... You've been really on your journey for quite some time, and I think that you are really feeling, that that there's been a real lack of action here, that there's been a real lack of movement. Just I'm hearing as well, so I'll say it, but don't give up is what I'm hearing. Don't give up. Remember and I think that that's why you've been doing, this self-reflection as well. Like I said, I can just see you, divine feminine, just sitting there doing a lot of self-reflection, really journaling. And, none of that healing, none of this amazing work that you could have done, that you have done, could have happened if this masculine didn't come into your life. It just couldn't have happened. And I think that that's really what you have to remember. But then we've got the Ace of Pentacles, but in the reverse. So the Ace of Pentacles is really around, it's very much a miracle card. It's, something that the universe is really trying to grant you. I'm feeling in this regard, though, that this is actually to do with your pentacle path. So quite possibly this connection has had blockers and actually blocking something to do with your pentacle path. But I feel that when it comes to your pentacles, that the universe is really wanting to grant you something here, something that has really taken a long time to come in. You know, Pentacles is a miracle card, but it takes a long time to come in. You know, it can actually take years, you know, for Pentacles to ground. So it's something to do with your Pentacle path that I feel, or you may feel that this is really hindered. But I'm just being told again, just because it takes a long time doesn't, it has to happen in divine timing, not in ego's time. I'm hearing that it has to happen in divine timing. But then we've got the King of Swords. So King of Swords and then the Eight of Cups also in reverse. So King of Swords is very, very much a very, very logical. And I think that this is the energy that you're in at the moment. It's a very, very, very King of Swords energy. It's very logical king. Really tries to take the emotion out of things. He's very in charge of his thought pattern, though, the King of Swords. Like, he's very in charge of it. You could also be dealing with an air sign here as well, or you could be an air sign. So I'm hearing Gemini straight away, but you could be any of the air signs, but very much this type of energy is that King of Swords. So I think you're trying very hard to be very logical about this. We've then got the Eight of Cups, but the Eight of Cups in reverse. So the Eight of Cups is very much around walking away from that does not serve you, that does not serve you, which I think is you really trying to potentially walking away from this connection, but it's in the reverse here, which means I think that you're really of two minds here. Let's get some more to confirm this, but I think it's really just talking to your current state of mind. That's way too many cards. And then we've got the Queen of Swords. So very interesting. We've also got divine counterparts here. So King of Swords and Queen of Swords. Like I said, I think that potentially one of you or two of you are air signs. You could also be a double suit as well. So you could also both be earth signs or fire signs potentially. You could be a double suiting. But you are really trying to look very logically at this. So the Queen of Swords is also, man, she really understands her self-worth and her boundaries. Also the Queen of Swords, she can be really cutthroat, to be honest, but I mean that in the best way. Like, she really, really understands her stuff. And I think that is really the energy that you are stepping into here when you are actually trying to make this choice. I really just get the sense, though, that you may just need some reassurance here, is what I'm hearing. This is really quite tough energy, very, very logical energy. I'm also seeing the Queen of Cups energy as well. So I feel like maybe you might need to have a little bit more of compassion for yourself or towards yourself. Just remembering that self-love. But the Chariot in the reverse. And then we've got the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, so it's an imbalance, that Two of Pentacles, because this is a blocker. So yeah, so this lack of progress, this blockage that you've had with this masculine is really starting to cause quite a bit of imbalance. And also because this is Pentacles, I'm getting the feeling that, yeah, that just to confirm, this has caused some imbalance with your Pentacle path. But also to just in general in your life, I think that this is starting to, I think that there's you're really in your head about it, like really, really in your head. And I'm being told too, I think it's time, maybe you might need to get out in nature a little bit. You actually really might need to get down to the beach, actually get out into nature, just to really ground your energy at the moment is what I'm hearing. All right, and then we've got the Nine of Wands in reverse. So the Nine of Wands is very much around I was going to say setting boundaries, but it's more than that. It's very much the end, like the end of the cycle. You're really able to take a stand, to really understand the journey that you've been on, and to really take a stand, to really stand up for everything you've accomplished in this life, especially in this healing journey. Given that it's in the reverse though, and I think that this is what we're talking about, is the universe is really trying to grant you something here, but I just think that you need to really get out of your head is what I'm hearing. You really need to get out of your head here. Really listen to your intuition, really turn to your spirit team right now. All right, King of Swords. Then we've got the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is not such a positive card for me, I have to say. It's really holding on to it's really holding on to those pentacles. It's a bit of an obsessive card, I have to say, for me, and how I've allocated it. So the Four of Pentacles is very much around those old thought patterns as well. And I think that this is really what you're trying to King of Swords about. This is really what you're trying to let go, is letting go of those old thought patterns, that old obsessive way of thinking. I think too, and how you used to think about your masculine as well, is really what you're trying to hold on to. I think also too, with this connection as well, I think you're really trying to hold on to this connection despite everything. And I think that you're hoping that your masculine is also holding on to this connection. I really do. Like I said, if we go back to the first deck, you really still wanting, a permanent connection with this person. But I think that this obsessive thought pattern, this Four of Pentacles, this is what you're trying to King of Swords it, right? You're actually trying to use very, very, very logically. You're trying to break out of this thought pattern, especially when it comes to this person. All right, Eight of Cups in reverse. Then we've got the Four of Cups, but the Four of Cups in reverse. So that's good, actually, I have to say. So the Four of Cups in reverse, though. So the Four of Cups in the upright is, once again, it's all around the universe trying to grant you something, right? It's a new idea. They're actually trying to grant you something. Your team's trying to grant you, but you can't see it. You actually can't, almost like you can't see the forest for the trees. You're actually, and this comes down to the Four of Pentacles as well. So you're trying to actually get out of this, though. You're trying to leave that energy, though, those obsessive thought patterns, the fact that you can't see outside of your head, your headspace. I think you're really trying to evolve past that. You're really trying to move out of that, and that's to do with that self-love that you're really starting to step into as well. That real Empress energy. You could also be seeing a lot of 4-4 at the moment as well, or just a lot of angel numbers in general. You could also be seeing like 144, 444, 4444. You know what I mean. Just a lot of 4 energy around you. For the number 4 as well, that's also quite it's the Emperor energy as well. So you could also be really starting to step into, or feel that you're stepping into that real divine masculine. So that real inner union, that real balance between your yin and your yang. All right, okay, so that's really you. and really how, the universe is, or, or your spirit team is seeing that connection. So let's actually get into this masculine, right? I want to see what's happening with this masculine. So let's do it. I also want to get these blue cards as well. I really want to get some guiding messages here as to what you need to be really focusing on. But I think before we do that, let's get some picture cards. Let's just get straight into this masculine. We'll then come back and get these cards. I want to get the masculine first. All right, so we'll get the picture cards here. All right, I'm really getting the sense that your focus at the moment should not be on the masculine. And I think this is also something you're trying to break out of. I'm getting a real sense that your focus really should be on yourself and on your journey. And you are really trying to break old thought patterns here. You're really trying to really evolve and move on to the next step is what I'm hearing. So look, let's just do a quick check-in. Let's see where the reading goes. I do really want to get those blue cards for you. All right, so I'm just going to ring this out again. And I just want to see how this masculine sees this connection. All right. Oh gosh, I've already got cards flying out at me, but let's. All right, first card we've got is egg on their face. So ashamed, backfired, got caught. I just want to split the deck. Okay. Toxic people, push, pull. All right, I'm just going to split this deck here. All right, so this is how this masculine is overall ruling energy at the moment, how he's seeing this connection. So he knows, right? So he is an immature, argumentative, playing the victim. This masculine knows the damage that's been done here. And also, secretive, sneaky, mysterious. This confirms what we picked up on your first deck, was that real, and also in the Page of Cups that we saw, right? So that real childish, that real page, the child, so very immature, argumentative, playing the victim. He knows, or the masculine knows, I keep saying he, but you know what I mean, not gendered. The masculine really understands the damage that was done here. And the childish behavior that was displayed. And also the secrets that were kept here, which is around the revelation, right? I do believe that this was something that there was stuff kept in the dark here. I think intuitively you knew, or you might have actually known here, but the masculine was very secretive. It was part of the masculine shadow, but hiding information, secretive. This is very much going over in this masculine's mind at the moment. He understands the damage that's been done. And look, we've got egg on face. He's feeling really ashamed. He's actually, the fact that I think you actually did catch him in a lie. That's what I'm hearing. Got caught, backfired. I think you caught him in a lie, and I think that this very much triggered your masculine a lot. I think that he's very much, I'm also seeing my Six of Cups card as well. I think that he's really, really reminiscing here. But there was some seriously toxic people in this masculine's life when the two of you first came into union. There's also addictions, bad advice, wrong crowd. I think that you can really, I was going to say too, I don't know if you can hear my neighbours not too far from my window, so that might be a bit of a sign there. Apologies if that's coming through on the microphone. But I think, I definitely think that we had addictions here, wrong crowd. Which doesn't surprise me when two twin flames meet each other. You are very much in, you're very broken when the two of you meet. Both of you are in quite toxic places, individually in quite toxic places when you do meet each other. And then you ultimately then just highlight all of that trauma in each of you, just mirror that back to each other, which then of course then, pushes you into that whole push-pull dynamic, the power struggle, the imbalance between the two of you. This is one of my twin flame cards, really. So it's like the magnet, that push-pull, that whole dynamic that happens between twin flames. One of you pushes, one of you pulls, vice versa. One of you will be wearing the longing veil, one of you will be wearing the running veil, just depending on what type of trauma you've got. But I definitely feel that this is what this masculine is going over. I think they're feeling there's a lot of regret here. I'm also seeing 5 of Cups as well. I'm also seeing the word stubborn here. So I feel that you feel, Divine Feminine, that your masculine is quite stubborn. Also seeing the bull energy. So you could also be dealing with a Taurus, maybe an air sign of some sort. Oh, I've just had these 2 cards come out, so I will actually take them. So we've had spiritual attack, and then we've had court. So really to confirm what's happened here. So this is really, this masculine is really going over this. I'm seeing such a sorrow card, like real 5 of Cups energy. So very much interesting that just as you are detaching from this connection, and I mean that in the very best way, right? So you're actually learning the detachment in this connection, that this masculine would be going over this, that this would be really highlighting, the separation here between the two of you is what I'm feeling. But there's spiritual attack. I think that this masculine, since he left you, really, I think that he's felt like he was ultimately cursed. I really do. I think that he's been really going through a lot of demons. He's been really facing into a lot of shadow, which is what happens. So when the masculines put on their running boots and they take off for the hills, and they just decide to avoid everything, they will really have some serious karma or some karmic debt to be going through, and their spirit team, the divine, really will really will step in. It's a lot of divine intervention that happens, a lot of karmic situations, relationships that the masculine will go through in order to really activate the masculine onto his own healing journey into the divine counterpart. What's the word I'm looking for? For fear of repeating myself, but that real activation, which can take quite a while. Can I tell you, it really can take quite a while. But this masculine is really being forced here to face into his demons. And then we've got court, right? So caught red-handed, secrets exposed, surprising, shock. I think this is exactly what happened here. I think that you caught this masculine out. I think that you called him on some stuff here. And I think that it really triggered him, to put on those running boots. But I think this is the stuff that you've had enough of now. And I think this is what is pushing you into that detachment. Right, it's the egg on face. But through it, he's developing self-love. So both of you are mirroring this energy, which is what I picked up on to start with. So loving you, taking back control, finally being happy. I think this is what this masculine is working through. This is really what he's trying to develop, which means, like I said, I think I said this to begin with. I think you might really be surprised at how far this masculine has come in his own journey. But he's really trying to take that shame, that he's felt, that sorrow, and really channel that into self-love. Those red roses are back here again. So we've got that red roses card. So I definitely think that roses are very important for this collective. Your masculine might even show up with a bunch of red roses. But he's really trying to develop his own, like I said, just really trying to move out of that ashamed, got caught energy and really trying to move into that self-love. All right, so toxic people. Yeah, so desire, self-pleasure, intense feelings. I think I'm very much just seeing the desire here. So around addictions is what I'm hearing. So I think we're really just confirming here for, I don't mean to keep repeating the same messages, but I think we're just confirming here that there really was a lot of toxicity. I really do think that addictions played a big part in this connection, which often does happen because of the states that you meet each other. I'm also hearing as well that there was some intense chemistry between the two of you as well, which I don't think is ever very far from either of your minds, I have to say. I'm hearing that as well. And on the bottom here, we've got reconciliation, so harmony, resolving issues, getting back together. This hasn't come out, but it is definitely on the bottom of the deck. And I think that when this masculine thinks of that desire, that connection, that amazing connection that you guys have, then I think this is that next step that masculine actually thinks about is reconciliation. All right, push, pull. What we got here? Unfinished business does not surprise me at all. Right, so that push-pull dynamic that's between the two of you, but then underneath that, then we've got unfinished business. So that glowing thread between the two of you is still there, and both of you can feel it. It's just that both of you have had, some healing to do. And if I'm honest, I think that you're both there. You're still both very much on your healing journeys, is what I'm hearing. But then we've got spiritual attack, karma, but then, denial, obsession, attraction, infatuation. I feel that I'm just hearing that just as much as you're trying to release those obsessive thought patterns, so is this masculine, right? This was actually part of his karmic journey and part of his karmic debt that he's had to get through. He also has, or the masculine has, not he, but the masculine also has obsessive thought pattern as well. So I think you're actually reflecting each other in that way. But this is something that this masculine's trying to heal out. It's something that he's been really tested with. All right, and then just under caught, so caught red-handed. Oh, but then we've got pictures, regrets, reminiscing, missing you. So I was seeing Six of Cups. This is very much Six of Cups energy. So reminiscing, missing you. I think that he thinks back, or the masculine thinks back. The masculine thinks back, to the way that you guys separated, and like I said, he's full of regret here. The masculine really understands the damage that's been done here, is what I'm hearing, really understands. I'm just not sure if the masculine understands quite how to come forward. To be honest, I'm getting such a scared feeling is what I'm getting. That I think that he's scared that with all of this damage that's been done, would you ever take him back? Is what I'm hearing. Oh, and then on the bottom, to confirm. So definitely. So this is a twin flame connection. So runner, chaser, divine timing. So he sees this as also as a twin flame connection. You see it as a twin flame. He sees it as a twin flame. Right, so you are absolutely mirroring each other. So here we go. So 11, 11 again as well. All right, so That's your masculine's energy. So I just want to see, really, for fear of making this reading really, really long, I want to get into these blue cards because I want to see really what you should be focusing on at the moment. That's really what I want to get. So, and I'm also going to be referring to the guidebook for this as well, just so you're aware. But this is the that sacred geometry. I really love this because it really deals with energy and chakras and things like that. So, all right, let's get this. What does this beautiful divine feminine need to be focusing on? What should this beautiful divine feminine be focusing on? Like I said, because I just get the feeling that it shouldn't be the masculine, and I think that this is really what you're trying to move away from. What should this beautiful divine feminine be focusing on? All right, so we've got number 35, perception. So 3 and 5. So 35, the 5th of the 3rd. I'm hearing 3rd of the 5th. Also the number 8. So the frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good hard look at it. I think this is very much going to be referring to your healing journey. And your perception of things, right? And I think that comes down to that 4 of Pentacles, that real obsessive thought pattern, which you're trying to move out away from. It's speaking to that as well. So your perception of things, how do you perceive things in this world? Which I think is very much what you have been focusing on already. All right, so perception can be described as the interpretation of which has entered into our awareness. Right, this is very much on your healing journey. Upon first glance, a perception activation presents what seems to be chaos and motion. But when we take a better look, we find perfect alignment and synchronicities between the different aspects. We find balance and harmony. So this has been a little bit of a blocker for you, right? Especially like around, we had the judgment in reverse as well. So there have definitely been blockers here with how you are perceiving this situation. The sharp blades of the clear perception cut through the layers of illusion that cover the space between the world of spirit and the world of matter. Together, the blades are neither rounding nor square, indicating that they are effective in both worlds. Conceptually, circles stand for everything and nothing at all, balance and infinity, purity and freedom. Within this image, they also represent our connection to the larger universe. So this is really the universe reminding you to be focusing very much on self and very much on your mission work. Within the image, let me get there. All right, so within this image, I also represent our connection to a larger universe and the many planets that revolve around the realities that exist beyond our own. We think we have a clear perception of reality that lies behind the blades, but we discover that the waters of our emotional and physical world are mirrored perfectly by the sky, our spiritual nature. They are exactly the same. As above, so below. The as above and so below that's written there also very much reminds me of the Magician. So for this collective, I've just seen that Magician card, as above, so below, which means you are a very powerful collective, this divine feminine. I think at the moment, I think you're just going through a bit of a blip, to be honest. I think you just, like I said when I first sat down, I think that what you're after is just a bit of reassurance, just to let you know that you're still on this journey and that everything will ultimately work out the way it's supposed to. But you are a master manifester. You also understand your magic, right? You really are magic. And I think that you need to remember how magic you are and how powerful you actually are. And that you really need to focus on your perception of things. and how much of a master manifester you are, and that what you're thinking, you really have the ability to bring into reality. I'm hearing your most deepest desires is what I'm hearing outside of this connection, right? So separate. So, your pentacle path, your, things in your world, you are really powerful and you're able to really manifest things in, is what I'm hearing. And you just need to really remember, right? And it's your perception. You really need to work on your perception of things. All right. Next card, please. Oh, delight, the number 19. This is always such a lovely card. So 1 and 9, or number 10 as well, but 19 might also really resonate, or the 1st of the 9th, 9th of the 5th. So the frequency of delight supports our capacity to create and experience feelings of intense joy and happiness. The more delight we feel, the more delight we evoke in others. Very much another manifestation card. I'm also really drawn to these colors as well. So orange, you might really resonate with these. Orange, red, and pink is what I'm seeing. Yellow, you might really resonate with those colors. I'm seeing like a tie-dyed shirt or something. Might really resonate. It's also one of my local birds, that live around my house, also flying around outside. It's a parrot, actually. So that also I just saw it fly past my window, so that could also really resonate. Number 19. So delight means from the light. So science refers to the light as an electromagnetic radiation that we can measure in wavelengths and visible light as a range of wavelengths and variations of color that we can perceive with the human eye. In the new energy, we are asking to consider the multi-dimensional attributes of light as fundamental to what we believe about it is as well. Light has a quantum attribute that is non-linear. It is an energy that can be created through consciousness, and consciousness can create it in return. Light influences our awareness, our perception, and therefore our reality. So once again, another card around your perception, around manifestations, and really just hearing, just lighten up is what I'm hearing. You need to just lighten up. Okay, so we associate the word delight with feelings of pleasure, joy, and happiness. Joy and bliss are considered to have some of the highest frequencies of all emotions. By feeling joy or blissful of frequency, by feeling joy or, I'll get it out in a second. By feeling joyful or blissful, our frequency goes up. The higher our frequency, the more light we generate, and the more we can shine in return. So I'm going back to something that I heard in the very beginning of this reading, is that you need to start really focusing on things that are going to make you feel lighten up, because through you radiating your beautiful energy, that then goes out to the world, and very much in your mission work as well, is what I'm hearing. But also another card around manifestations. You really are. I just can't stop seeing or get the Magician card out of my mind. It's all I can see is the Magician card. I think you're a very powerful collective. I think you're very, very magic. And I think that maybe today you just needed to just be reminded of that, I think. All right, and just one last card. Sorry, I'm actually shuffling those off camera. Apologies. I don't know why I was doing that. It's a bit odd. All right. One last card. One last card. Oh, they've been very picky about this one. No, still don't want to come out. One more, please. There it is. Last card, we've got realization. Interesting. So the frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of the heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in this world. There we go. That's your mission work. That's a little reminder there. That's what you should be focusing on. Your amazing journey and your mission work, how you're going to put this stamp on this world. So realization number 37. All right, so realization happens on many different levels. Internally, we realize something when we become aware of that something is a fact. Externally, we realize something when we achieve or fulfill a dream or a desire. On a spiritual level, we refer to self-realization when we were able to unite body, mind, spirit, and soul to step into our fullest, most authentic expression of who we really are. So I really honestly Spirit could not have summed up your journey at the moment any better than this. The center of the activation draws us into an infinite journey through the layers of our awareness. The green indicates the presence of the heart, which provides the wisdom stability needed on this frequently trippy path. The rich, bright blue coloring of the outer circles represents the ability and desire to express ourselves and to be realized in the outer world. The water represents emotional realm, the heart's guidance system, and the orange and yellow stand for expression, creativity, and self-awareness. Yes, I think we could not have summed that up any better than that. So this is very much around you. Stepping into your path, into what makes you happy. I'm being told again to remind you to really connect with your spirit team, to go out and connect with nature as well. I'm just hearing nature is a really big thing for this collective. Really get down to the beach, out into the forest, just really connect with nature, really get back into touch, with those things that are making you feel good. That I'm hearing you're a very magnetic person. When you're feeling really good about things and about the situation, I'm hearing that you are really a magnetic person. But when you're starting to doubt yourself, doubt this journey, I'm just hearing you can be very, very hard on yourself. So lighten up is what I'm hearing. All right, so number 37, that might also be a really important number here as well, or the third of the seventh of the third. Okay, so I was going to get next steps for this connection, but I don't think that is going to be right for this reading. I think that you really just need to be focusing inwardly at the moment, which I think is also really what you're trying to do as well. So I'm just going to get some message cards. I haven't gotten these for quite a while, so let's get these message cards through from your masculine. All right, and then we will finish the reading there. But let's get some message cards. Let's take a sticky beak. Your masculine's higher self. All right, the number 7, I worry about us a lot, confirms exactly the energy we were picking up. I do get a real sense of worry at the moment, but like I said, I think your masculine is really focusing on very much on his healing at the moment. Oh, we've got a lot of messages coming out. Let's take all of these. I'm here and take all of them. So if I follow you, I could lose everything. Just on the bottom there as well. So number 5, I meant what I said. I do think that there was discussion about serious commitment here, and I think that is something you both go over quite a bit, I'll be honest. But the masculine is saying, I meant what I said. If I follow you, I could lose everything. And then we've got, I worry about us a lot. I think this is really just confirming your masculine is in a lot of regret at the moment. The number 8, I want you. Of course, I believe that. The number 7, I dream about you a lot, too much. You could have actually just recently had a dream about your masculine as well. Maybe you really do dream about each other quite a bit. I'm just hearing that you do unite in the astrals quite a bit, is what I'm hearing. Yeah, you might have actually just dreamt about this masculine. Light. Well, isn't that interesting? So both of you are doing this, but I think this is more for you, Divine Feminine. Light, lighten up. Exactly what came through in your deck before. I just wish things were different. A lot of 7s here, so 7 and 5, 5 as well. So you could be seeing, so a lot of repeating numbers here. So 5, 5, 5, 7, 7, 7. A lot of those repeating numbers. Number 6, I'm absolutely in love with you. I want you, and then I think so, yes. Oh, and I'm going to take these as well. All right, so we've got, I dream about you a lot. I think so, yes, maybe. I think that very much speaks to that in and out that your masculine is going through. I really don't think a decision has been made yet. Like I said, he's really focusing. We really didn't get into the masculine today. It may come through in the next reading that I do, but just to see really the journey that he's on at the moment. But yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, as we've just said, it's really time for you to be focusing on you at the moment. I don't want to lose you. And then I left because you told me to. Quite possibly you did. I don't think that the separation between you guys was very pleasant for either of you, I don't think. And you possibly did tell this masculine that you had it. All right, I feel like I need to get a couple more. Just a couple more, and then that'll be it. Listen to your heart. And then, yeah, and then the I am terrified. That's what I was picking up on. Getting a lot of anxiety from the masculine. Like I said, like I said, at the moment, feminine, you really just need to be focusing on yourself at the moment, very much on your journey, which I think is what you're trying to do. You are really trying to do that. You are really trying to heal out that really obsessive thought pattern, like we've said. All right, I'm going to leave it there, my beautiful collective. It's been really lovely to read that today. As I said, it's been good. It's been some time since I've done a reading with you guys, so really lovely to do that today. If you had made it all the way through to this, quite long reading, I would ask that you subscribe and also that you like this video as well. Of course, it helps me, but more importantly, it helps these messages get out to those that really do need to hear them. So I would ask that you support in that way. But until the next reading, thank you. I'll speak to you soon.